Arsenal need to take action as soon as possible. I think there's two things I'm looking at and saying, if we don't change these now, it won't only affect us right in this moment, but it will going forward as well. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. But I do just want to start this video by asking a very simple question, because there's some difference of opinion out there and I want to see where you guys stand on it. Where do you see Arsenal in this season's title race? And I genuinely want to know, are we in it or are we out? I'm going to give you my opinion as well, because look, there comes a point where you must admit Arsenal have to change fast. Like, there is a period of time where we could have said it will come good eventually. It's only November. The title won't be won in November. But then there becomes a point where you're looking at the points tally and saying, well, it's 9 points off Liverpool, which I don't think is unbridgeable, by the way. I do think Arsenal can get themselves in a position where they can gain those 9 points on Liverpool. I'm still looking at this title, and it'll be interesting to see if you guys agree. I'm still looking at Man City as the main title rivals or the guys that will go on to win it. Like, I still think Man City are the team to beat. And that does seem weird saying, because they are so far behind Liverpool in this points tally as well. But the fact that we're only 4 points behind Man City, that does leave me with some optimism going forward. But we do need to change very, very fast. Like, you can't keep on drawing games. And the game yesterday, although it was frustrating, I don't think it was the worst game in the world to watch. It was probably quite boring. I think we definitely could have gone on to win the game. And I think there are some positives to take from it. But if I'm looking at the title race, I'm saying it's a huge gap, 9 points. Like, some people are saying, like, there's no point even thinking about the title. I don't think we're there yet. I think we're in a very difficult position now. 9 points is a huge tally, but I still have the opinion that Liverpool will at some point this season go through that patch, or go through that rocky patch, or that patch of form where everything will be new. Like, Arne Slot hasn't had to experience a losing run yet, or how the fan base will react. Like, Liverpool are in a good moment, and when you're in a good moment, it's very easy to keep that momentum and just keep winning, grinding out those results. But there will come a point in the season where they lose against the team they're not supposed to, and then going into the next game they might get a draw, or they might lose 2 on the bounce, and that's when you will see this Liverpool team start to regress slightly. That's the opinion I hold. Maybe that's me being slightly hopeful, but I still think this Liverpool team isn't at the level yet to run away with it. And it will be interesting to just see, like I said, where you guys see Arsenal in this title race, because I don't think we're out of it, but I think it's very, very difficult from this point onwards. And now I want to speak about the game, because there is something else that we need to take action on. But I just want to get your guys' opinion on a couple of points from the game. I think us missing these chances, again, needs to change, because if you don't take your chances, you're not going to win games. It's very, very simple. But like that Trossard chance at the end, I'm looking at and saying, like, we should have buried that. Last season, that's the kind of moment we would have been waiting for. You know, where it's like Arsenal might not win this game, but they always manage to come through and somehow grab victory from the jaws of defeat almost. And it seems like we're missing that characteristic this season. Like, we're not able to just, when you're not playing well, just still get that result somehow. Like, that was the chance yesterday with the Trossard one. Now, some people think it might have been offside anyway, but like the lino didn't flag it, so there's every possibility that could have been onside. And if we score that chance and win that game, there's a different dialogue about this game. So I'm just looking at them chances, and it wasn't only Trossard, to be fair. Gabriel Martinelli had the chance in the first half where he blasted it. In the end, it was a fairly good save. But I'm just thinking, those chances, you can't afford to keep missing. We saw it with Havertz in the last game. Now, we did have Havertz scored the goal that was slightly offside. So, I mean, we can't direct any of this towards Havertz. But I just mean generally in those forward areas, we need to be more clinical. We need to be composed, and you have to take your chances. I think that's something we done very well last season. We might have crafted like a half chance out of nowhere. And then you take, and then of course, all of a sudden it's a different game. So that's something I noticed. Another thing I noticed that's quite simple, and something that we're not seeming to do as well this season, is just shutting down those, like, just outside of the box shots. I think we saw it early on with Cole Palmer, where David Raya had to tip it over, and then we saw it for the Pedro Neto goal as well. Like, we're standing off quite a bit. I don't know if that's instruction from the manager. I wouldn't think so. But, like, just get out to your man and shut that space down. Don't allow that possibility to happen. Arsenal's defence last season was so strong because we wouldn't have allowed those shots to take place. Like, our midfield would have shut them down. And Arsenal having a good defence isn't just about strictly the defenders. It helps, of course, but you need to have a solid midfield as well who doesn't allow those long-range efforts. The defence will take care of the deeper areas of the pitch, but you need the midfielders to shut out those outside-of-the-box strikes as well. I think Timber tried to on the second one. Thomas Partey on the first one for Cole Palmer maybe backed off a bit too much. And with a player like Cole Palmer, we've seen it this season. You can't allow a player like that to have space anywhere near your box to allow him to craft an opportunity to shoot. So that's something I'm looking at and saying, like, going forward, we need to shut that space down quicker. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will identify it, but I'm just giving you guys what I saw. And then the next question I wanted to ask was about Martin Odegaard. And I want to ask you guys, did he make the change or the impact that so many people were hoping for? I want to know, what did you guys think now that we've seen Martin Odegaard not only start the game, but like he played so many minutes? Like, when we saw him on the starting sheet, you could probably think, well, he's going to come off in the second half, or he might only play the first half. But fair play to him, he put in a shift. And I think we did see a difference. It was clear to me, especially with a Martinelli goal. Like, he was just able to find that pass to unlock the back line. And that is something we've struggled with for so many games this season. And that will only improve going forward. Like, Martin Odegaard was so good in that game. And he still wasn't up to 100%. This still isn't prime Martin Odegaard. This isn't Martin Odegaard of 100%. So even though he did still make a massive difference, there is still more to come from Martin Odegaard. And that's why you can be slightly optimistic. That's why I'm not yet ready to give up on the title. I'm not ready to say there's absolutely no chance whatsoever, because if you get a fit and firing Martin Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli comes into form, Kai Havertz can reach 20 goals like he did last season, then I still do think you give yourself a good chance. But the only other thing I think we need to take action on, or certainly be aware of, is this international break coming up. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you would do in terms of letting players go to international duty. Now, this is always a subject that contrasts opinion, because some people say it's international, they want to play for their international teams, you have to let them go. And on the other side, you get people saying, well, club football always comes first. These are the guys that pay your wages, so don't send them. If it benefits your club, then you can't send them. So let me know where you guys are. I just think we have to be careful, because there's rumours coming out of Liverpool that they're not going to be sending Trent to go and play with England. I can almost guarantee Man City, Foden will be pulled, or Haaland will be pulled. And that's where I'm looking at it and saying, did Mikel Arteta make the right decision yesterday? Like, we saw Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka come off late in the game, and then when he was asked about it after the match, he said, well, those players wasn't able to complete the full 90 minutes, so I don't know if they're going to be able to go to international duty, kind of planting the seed that these players won't be ready to play for England. Do you guys think that was a bit of clever play from Mikel Arteta to save them going from international duty, pull them off late in the game, say they've got an injury, so then when it comes to England making that team selection, Arteta can say, well, they wasn't even able to play 90 minutes, we're not going to send them away on international duty. I'm hoping that's what's happened. There's kind of conspiracies out there that Declan Rice might have broke his toe. The Saka injury, again, how serious was it? It looked like he was holding his groin, so I hope that's not as serious as it would appear. I'm hoping it's just clever play from Mikel Arteta. And to be fair, it's not only those players that I don't want to see going on international duty. I'm looking at Martin Odegaard as well and saying, like, that was the last game before Odegaard should be going away with Norway, or could have been going away with Norway. I hope Norway don't call him up. The intention from Norway has always been to call him up. Mikel Arteta come out and said, like, we're going to have to assess to see how he recovers after the game, and then we will make the decision on what happens with Martin Odegaard. I selfishly maybe hope he doesn't go away on international duty, because we saw what happened last time, and I would love for us to have Rice, Saka, Odegaard all at the training pitch for 2 weeks, working with Mikel Arteta, setting up a game plan going into a large part, like the second part of the season. Like, we don't have no more internationals now till next year, so there's going to be a massive run of games that we need to pull out maximum points for if we are still to have a chance in this season's title race. And that's where I'm looking at it and saying, if you can maybe pull Odegaard, pull Saka, pull Rice, and maybe say to Germany that Havertz head injury is maybe, going to impact him going forward, so we need him to rest for a couple of weeks. You've got a good core group of players there that you can work with in the international break. But again, let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on the Chelsea game. Let me know your thoughts on if you think Arsenal are still in this season's Premier League title race. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. If you could, before you go, just do me a favour very quickly and hit like on this video and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.